Okay, Lou, we keep playing that music, people are gonna fall asleep. All right.
I think it's
I had
catchy tune. I like
no,
it.
I still had like the championship music going on for the Florida Panthers, and like Lou had like this daydream, and I'm not daydreaming. Like football season's about to start. I'm still on the high with the Panthers. Baseball we won't talk about yet, but welcome to the SoFlo Sports Show. It's your host 305 Sports Babe, co-host Miami Lou from Dade, whatever you are these days, and
Lou, whatever works for you.
We are excited to have a special guest on the show tonight. Now, this guest is pretty much famous on Dolphin Twitter, which is an interesting place. And, you know, not even just Dolphin Twitter. TMZ did a story on him. Local CBS did a story about him.
Fox. All over.
I know. So we're really excited to bring him on. You guys have seen his story, but we're really wanted to dig into who he is, what's he doing, and to get to know him on and off the field. So tonight on the show, we have Kyle Ulbrich, who was the punter for Middle Tennessee State University.
That's right, the Blue Raiders.
And he's trying to get a shot with the Miami Dolphins. And he's doing it untraditionally, but beautifully. And he's catching the attention of thousands. And it's not always, you know, what you know. Sometimes it's who you know. And he's just trying to get a shot. So I'm excited to talk to him about, you know, what he's doing, who he is, and how we can help and hopefully get him a shot.
Yeah, and we're going to let him give his story out there, which everybody's fascinated by. But what he's really doing to gain this attention and how he's going about it, he's posting up right outside the Baptist Health Complex.
Yeah.
Where the Miami Dolphins have obviously started training camp. And he's got signs out there, an array of signs with QR codes and all kinds of, attention-seeking methods to try and get the Dolphins, anybody, to give him a shot, which he's really wanting to get. Those players, the staff, coaches, everybody's coming in and out of that parking lot, media, and they see him every single day. He's been out there, and so.
And we saw him yesterday.
Yes, we did.
And we took care of him, gave him a bottle of water, a nice rag, and
a nice cooling towel.
Yes, so we're glad to be able to do that. So without further ado, let's bring him on.
Yeah. Excited to talk to him. There he is.
Hey, Kyle, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you guys for having me on. And also, like you mentioned, thank you for the water in the towel.
Oh, no problem.
Did you use the cooling towel right away, by the way? Because it comes in a little packet, and it's you got to keep it extra cold. So.
No, I haven't used it yet. I was going to put it in the fridge and then bring it out tomorrow.
There you go.
Once they locked the gates is when I kind of packed everything up.
So with that, you have to keep it cool, and then the scent of it's amazing. We were on vacation a few weeks ago, and at the hotel, the pool lady gave one to Lou, and I had to go buy him a pack of 100 off Amazon. So once you have
life.
And once you have one, you're gonna need 1,000. So, so anyways, Kyle, what's going on? What are you doing out there? I mean, people see your sign, they see you posted up, or the umbrella, the seat. What are you doing? What are you trying to do out there?
Yeah, I'm just out there lobbying for myself. I had 2 agents in the past. They hadn't done enough for me to the date to give me a opportunity at the next level, regardless of the league. So, I mean, after terminating the agreement between both parties, both times with the agents, I decided to just put it in my own hands. And obviously, I've done most of this the right way, headed to the free agent combines, doing all that stuff, but. At some point, you just got to put yourself out there and, humiliate yourself a little bit to get an opportunity. So, I mean, this is my way of just lobbying for myself and hopefully get something out of it.
I love it. And, one of my favorite quotes is, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. So I'm fully supportive of what you're doing. And so tell us your story. Where are you from? Did you play any other sports? Dream job as a kid? Bring us back a few years. Where did this all start?
Yeah, for sure. I grew up in Monroe, Ohio. Football was a huge thing there. I played a little bit of basketball. Freshman year, I tried out with a fractured hand. So obviously I didn't make the team with a cast on my hand. I made the second cut though. So, I mean, that was a victory in itself. But I mean, outside of defense, I couldn't play worth a lick. So it didn't really matter if I had a cast on my hand or not. Outside of that, I mean, I played quarterback and wide receiver up until the freshman year of high school as well. I mean, really what I wanted to do growing up was hopefully, get my chance in the NFL. That was my dream ever since I can remember, what the football was or even what sports were. So that was always, a part of everything I did and why I did what I did. So, I mean, like any other kid, I had more irrational dreams, like becoming the president of the United States one day down the line. And I think I told myself after the NFL and after I became president, I was just going to settle down, be a server somewhere. So that was always in the cards. But, no, I mean, I went to Valparaiso University out there in Indiana. played my first 2 years of college there, transferred over to MTSU, and I played well enough to hopefully get something, but still to now, I mean, I have yet to get the opportunity. So, kind of goes back to why I'm out here still.
Definitely. So
and you set up. So talking about some of your stats, you set the school record, 47.1 yards averaged per punt, and also you led Conference USA, 31 punts over 50 yards, which was, correct me if I'm wrong, that was good for second nationally overall.
I think that one was first nationally before Ariza broke the FBS record 1 or 2 years before that. I think I would have been one away or tied for the FBS record. Wow. But Ariza shattered it, so I wasn't close to his. So.
But hey, you're in the conversation as being the top punter in the nation, and so it's not so you're coming out here with obviously a qualified background. So
yeah.
Now, growing up in Ohio, we were actually there last summer. Yep. We did a whole tour of Ohio. It was our vacation last year. That's another story. Were you Bengals? Were you Browns? Favorite player growing up? Who were you going for growing up?
Everything growing up was Cleveland sports. I grew up probably 15 minutes away, 10-mile drive from downtown Cleveland. So, I mean, still now everything is Cleveland except for, as far as football goes, it's whoever pays me the money. And, when I watch the Browns on Sunday, there's no connection anymore because, I mean, why would there be? I'm out there competing like everybody else is for a job. You can't have, your connection and stuff like that there. And, I mean, if they sign me, I'll go back to being the fanboy I was for them. But until then, I mean, I got no hard feelings or any connections right now to them. Now, the Indians and Cavs and all the Lake Erie Monsters and stuff like that, obviously it's still there. But Browns, until y'all pay me, I'm a neutral party.
You just stole my heart by saying the Indians. We went to Progressive Field last year. We had such a great time.
Great
and we went looking all over for Chief Wahoo. And they stripped the stadium of everything Chief Wahoo. And I made it a point to say, where's Chief Wahoo? Even though we know it's on the Guardian. So when you just said Indians, definitely love it.
Yeah, it still slips my mind sometimes because it's so fresh and new. But, I mean, things change and, it's neither here nor there.
No, it's a fantastic ballpark, though.
Amazing,
great time out there. You mentioned Ohio. Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. I just said I love the park.
Yeah. You mentioned Ohio. I'd be remiss to ask you if you didn't make it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. That's what we went for Zach Thomas induction. And so, have you ever been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I've been there a handful of times. My freshman year in high school, we made it to the state championship, so we played on that field. I didn't touch the field outside of warm-ups, and even then, I wasn't even dressed out because I was a freshman. But it was cool playing there, and I think we were close to selling it out because I think we played St. Xavier, but yeah, I mean, we played there. I think we lost the game by 3 points, but I mean that's definitely one of a core memory I have, and especially being at the Hall of Fame, like the field, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, tremendous facility, and also that whole complex.
Crazy.
It's like Disneyland at this point. I mean, they have it's a whole restaurant bar scene and carnival rides, circus. They got an aquatic pool. They're building a water park.
We had
I mean,
really
it's just
time.
Out of control for a city so small as Canton is.
Yeah.
We loved it. We went to Cuyahoga Falls. No, we had a blast. We have a whole story about your state. Okay, so in high school, what number did you wear in college? And did you resonate with that number? Any cool story about why that number?
Yeah, I wore 13 all my life, and obviously if the Dolphins signed me, I wouldn't be wearing 13 anymore. But
can't give you that one.
Yeah,
Kyle.
that one we can't give you.
Yeah, no,
can't make happen.
That's okay. I mean, I'll wear an ugly number if I have to. It doesn't. The number at that time, a dream's already coming true, so it doesn't really matter too much. But no, I mean, 13 was the last number my grandpa saw me play in, so I've always tried to kind of just stay with it and wear it. And for my first year at MTSU, they gave me 48, and I tried to reason with the head coach to give me 13, and I had to prove myself the first year, but after I did that, I got 13 for my final 3 years there, so it all ended up being worth it, and I was able to kind of fight for it and prove myself for the numbers, so that was kind of cool in itself.
13. I even know Odell wants 13 too at the Dolphins, and we can't even give it to Odell. So there's a waiting list for 13 at the Dolphins.
And why 13?
He said his grandfather.
Oh, but any particular player? Any ties to a player? Or just
I mean, before he departed, the reason was I think it was Kurt Warner and Percy Harvin were the two players I grew up enjoying the most outside of, my dad's favorite Peyton Manning or any Browns player. Those two were like they're, just the way they play, the play style and everything like that is kind of what resonated with me. And I, enjoyed seeing the number on them. So I figured I could look half as good wearing it. So why not?
It's an amazing number. So senior year of high school, what offers did you get? And what was like your dream school? Did you have any thought and desire to go to Ohio State or, I mean, I had to ask.
No, I was never an Ohio State fan, even growing up in Ohio. My dad graduated from Texas Tech. So, I mean, all my life I, had Texas Tech everything, hats, the jerseys, the mini helmets, all that kinds of good stuff. And no, I mean, all my life I wanted to go to Tech, but coming out of high school, I was a 4.5 star, which for a kicker puts you at about the bottom 100, like between 70 and 100 out in your class. So it's not great. So I didn't really have my selection of high schools. I received the offer from Valparaiso. I think it was a week. No, it was the day before I had to report to fall camp at Valpo. Cincinnati asked me to do a workout there. I drove up there, did the workout, and then immediately after, they said, "Hey, we're good. We're actually not going to take a punter in this year." So, I just had everything packed up already. My dad and I, we just drove to Northwest Indiana, and I started my career at Valpo. So outside of those two schools, I did not receive any other offers.
All right.
You made the most of it, and then transferring over to Middle Tennessee State, and look at the rest is history, right? So look at where you're at now. So
yeah, exactly.
So we actually have something in common with you, even though there's an age discrepancy and something. You want to tell me, because we did a little research on you. You want to tell me what we have in common with them?
Yeah, so me and you are both in the fiance club, right? So we both have fiancés. How's that going, by the way?
How much time you got?
Do you guys have a date? Is it an evolving process right now?
Yeah, I mean, for the past 2 years, it's been an evolving process because I don't know. Well, the idea was last year, I didn't know if a team was going to call, a UFL team. I didn't know if I'd be gone for 6 months. I didn't know what the situation would be. Obviously, looking back on it, I would have known I would have been sitting on my, tail on the couch for a year. So, I mean, I had an idea for it, but, the lingering thought in the back of your mind is, something may come up. And just the way, my thing goes, if I plan something probably will come up, which coincidentally probably wouldn't have been an issue. But
perfect. Now we're in business. Okay. So we are going to play a game. I'm going to pretend I'm Chris Greer, and you're going to pretend you're Stephen Ross.
Right.
So we bring you in. Kyle, you got the shots. We have some questions for you before we let you take the field. So what makes you, Kyle, qualified to be a punter in the NFL, specifically with the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah. I've played in large stadiums and, pretty combative environments. My first FBS collegiate game was at University of Michigan. They broke it since, but they set the record attendance, and being thrown into that environment with only 2 weeks of practice with the new team, I mean, I handled it okay. And then obviously over 4 years of experience and practice with the team, anytime we would play a Power 5 opponent, a large sellout crowd, it would be one of my best games of the year. So anytime, adversity calls, I always rise to the challenge and handle it the best way I possibly can. So as far as that goes, I mean, I've done everything I could to make myself, valuable to a team as far as punter needs go. So I would hope the resume would speak for itself, but if need be, I would assume every opportunity I would get from here on out, whether it would be practice, whether it would just be, they say, "Hey, we're not going to bring you into a practice, but meet us at this field away from everything. We'll see what you can do." I mean, I don't think that would even be in the cards, but something like that happened. I think those situations, whether it would be in training camp with the fans or whether it would be after practice with no one there or whatever the case may be, whenever they bring me in, that would probably be just as stressful as the first, preseason game versus, whomever. I think the Falcons and Redskins are some of their, Commanders are some of their opponents. So, it's just one of those things that, I think I can rise to the challenge, and given the opportunity, I'll run with it.
All right. Sounds good. So question number 2, you mentioned you played in the big house, right? Michigan?
Yep. Yes,
So
sir.
that's obviously a huge step. Now, I want to ask you, what's the worst weather condition you ever played in? Have you ever punted in the snow, in sleet, in rain? Have you dealt with adverse weather conditions in your career?
Yeah, I mean, all throughout high school, we played probably at least 3 or 4 snow games total. And in college, I think we were playing FIU, and it was an absolute monsoon. Like that game, the rains were coming down everywhere. I think we had about this much of still water on the field on our
Ugh,
sidelines. I mean, we're talking bubbles would come out of your cleats.
gross.
And I mean, I caught the snaps that came my way. The other punter, who actually he got to work out with the Dolphins, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was him. I don't know if he dropped the snap, but it went through his hands or we blocked it. It was one of the two, and that was a big turning point in the game. We ended up winning it, but I handled the weather well. I understand if it's wet, you got to be more careful bringing the ball in rather than anything else, and just hurry up the process, get it off. In the snow, your big thing is just staying warm. If it's windy, you just got to cut it. And I've been in all the weather environments. I've done everything outside of kicking and lightning, because that's not really something you need to practice because the game gets canceled.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And listen, so in Miami here, I know that we get a lot of rain and crazy weather, but look, we also
Go to
travel
Buffalo,
to
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Specifically in our division, Buffalo, the Jets, and New England. Those are all snow cities. So the fact that you can, you've punted in the snow before, you're used to those conditions. I appreciate that, and that makes you definitely qualified to be a punter for our team.
See, Lou's from Miami, and I'm from the Northeast myself. I'm from New Jersey. So Lou doesn't know the 4 seasons. We're veterans to deal with everything. So I'm with you, Kyle. Kyle, have you ever attempted a fake punt? And if so, what was the result? Did you pass or did you run it?
in practice, yeah, I haven't got my opportunity in a game quite yet. Outside of, I mean, there was one time Youngstown State, I got the ball, it snapped low, and I was looking for it, and then I realized it was, literally right behind my feet. So when I picked that one up, I had to run it. So I don't think that quite counts as a fake punt. And I got stopped 10 yards behind line of scrimmage. So either way, it didn't work. But outside of that, we had them in the cards, but we never ran the fake punt that I was a part of. And I mean, outside of practice, no.
Okay, it's not something that happens all the time.
Well,
I will
here at
say,
the Miami Dolphins, we may need you some just in case.
Actually, one of the most famous before my time, definitely before your time, but one of the most famous plays in Dolphins history is in the AFC Championship game in 1972 in the undefeated season at Pittsburgh. The punter, Larry Seipel, when the Dolphins were down 10-7 in the third quarter, put his head down and had a 37-yard run that put us for the go-ahead touchdown. So we may need you to do that. That's what I'm saying, Kyle. But okay. Question number 4, and this is a standard ethical question that we got to ask. Every interview asks it. So if you're the last guy off the practice field, you come in the locker room, you got the whole locker room to yourself, everybody's gone for the day. Before you hit the showers, because you're the last guy in, you happen to walk over to your locker and you find 5 $100 bills. So $500 on the floor, random, nobody's there. It could be yours. Do you put it in your pocket? Do you report it? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, depending on where it is, like if it's in front of a guy's locker, I mean, I would probably just not touch it and leave it there. But if it's in the middle of the floor, I mean, I think the only thing you can really do is put it in an envelope, just give it to whoever's there. Somebody's got to still be there. The doors are unlocked, the lights are on. So whether it's, somebody in upper management, just give them the money and then be like, hey, if anybody asks for this, it was in the locker room, because nobody's going to come up to anybody and ask unless they lost it. So, I mean, somebody would have it that's over my head, and then I don't have to answer to any, where the money go kind of questions. It's out of my hands, out of my control.
He's a good guy. He's not taking it.
Yeah, you passed it. That's the proper answer. And by the way, there's a lot of money in that locker room these days. So I don't think anybody's going to be missing $500.
You should see these Christmas gifts that like Tyreek gives to everybody. It's like scooters and stuff. Like, trust me, you make a team, you're going to be taken care of. Santa definitely arrives to that locker room.
Absolutely. All right, so the last one, Kyle. I'm going to give you a scenario, and I want to see how you would handle it. So it's 4th and 15. You're on your own 30-yard line. Coach McDaniel tells you, hey, we got to punt this ball away. I need your best punt. Now, you do that. You punt the ball, your best punt of your life, right? Bounces a couple times. The only problem is on the receiving end, Devin Hester, right? The greatest punt returner of all time. He's got the ball. He gets it on 4 bounces because you did your job. Gets the ball, does Devin Hester type things, runs it one way, runs it the other way, cuts back. Now it's headed your way. You're the last hope, and you got to make a move here. How are you going to stop Devin Hester? What are you going to do?
Well, fingers crossed. It wasn't mentioned in the scenario, but fingers crossed he's a foot away from the sideline, and I can just tap him out of bounds. If it's open field, though, I mean, I'm saying my Hail Marys to hopefully get some kind of miracle to get him down.
Right.
Nice.
Okay, well,
I'll take it.
That's the right answer as well. We don't want somebody who's going to do the Olay. Oh, no, I'm not going to attempt to make a play on it. I like that you're going to try and tackle or stop Devin Hester. So.
Oh, you're paid way too much to not go out there and try to make the tackle at the very least.
Oh, you'd be surprised. We've seen a lot of guys that pretty much roll over when it's time to make a play.
Yeah. So, Kyle, last 2 minutes, I have a lightning round. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. Some of the first thing that comes to your head. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. USA Olympics calls you. What sport are you playing?
Basketball.
Heck yeah. Okay, I'm jumping to question 4. Are you Team LeBron or Team Jordan?
LeBron.
Oh, yeah, because he's from Akron, Ohio. That's fine. Favorite food?
Chicken parm.
Oh,
Nice.
That's you.
Hey, that's me too.
You. We know all the best places down here to get it. So, what song are you playing on repeat these days?
These days? It's Don't Stop Believing.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Very cool.
Excellent.
Who has the best touchdown celebration in the league?
Jalen Waddle.
He's playing to his teammate, his future teammate, hopefully.
I love Penguins too, so it's fitting.
Oh, yeah, no, we do too. What was your college major?
Finance.
Was it? Interesting. Okay. If you could have lunch with one person in history, dead or alive, who would it be?
One of the pharaohs.
Oh. Favorite vacation spot?
The Bahamas. Atlantis.
Bahamas. Very close.
Very close by.
Very close.
Yeah.
Which quote resonates with you the most?
Well, I guess look good, feel good, play good from University of Oregon. So
I like it. And last question, which is the biggest question, which is on the minds and hearts of all the Dolphin fans. Is it hashtag go Fins or hashtag Fins up?
Go Fins.
It is, but what do you like better? What resonates better? Go Fins or Fins up?
I like Fins up.
Okay, good.
I was trying to figure out which one was. I don't know if there was a correct or wrong answer, but I think Fins up. I like that.
So the story with that is Dolphin fans, 99.9% of us like Fins up, hashtag Fins up. But Jimmy Buffett actually copywrote that, and his whole brand is Fins up. And now that he's passed, his people are like, you guys can't use that. We're like, what do you mean? He doesn't care. He didn't care all these years. So we had to like ethically change it to Go Fins, which is not rolling off the tongue right now to anybody. But if you hashtag Go Fins, you'll have the Dolphins logo. But Fins up is what we like to say. So there was no right answer. I just wanted to know which one you liked.
Kyle, before we get you out of here, let you go. What's the strategy here? What's your next move? How long are you going to stick to this perseverance to being out there? And also, how are you balancing? Like, obviously, you're not out there right now. You're doing it in about 12-hour shifts. How are you also keeping in shape and getting on the field and staying ready? So hopefully, when you get that call, you're ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's a little easier. The plan kind of shifted a little bit. The schedule, I'm really out there just before the gates open and then when the gates lock. Just because, I was sitting out there before 6 to 6. I mean, I'd see them pull in, but outside of that, at 6 o'clock, I wouldn't see any of the cars leave. I did the first day, but the second few days, I didn't see much of it. So, the plan shifted to just kind of get the people who would see me more driving in and driving out, or the fans driving in and driving out. So the plan right now is just to go until training camp's over. I understand the whole NFL process is a pretty long and it's just a long process to, get in their system. You got to go through all the doctor's appointments, all the physicals, all that kinds of stuff. So, you're talking 2 to 3 days on appointments outside of practice and meetings and all that other kinds of stuff. So if it's going to happen to get somebody into the NFL system, it's going to be in training camp. Otherwise, they don't want to worry about that during the season. So it's really going to happen, during training camp. So I really got to put my, pedal to the metal, I guess, and really make sure, I'm out there, I'm visible. If they say, hey, we're going to bring you in, I'm out there. I'm not out there for 10 days and then on the 11th, they call me up and I'm back home. They're like, hey, we're going to need you to come out. So I'm going to make sure I'm there, I'm visible, I'm out there if they need me. Outside of that, I mean, I wake up in the morning, I head there, and then right after, either I hit the field or I hit the gym. And there's a lot of fields, and right now I'm going off of a free gym pass to one of the gyms around here. So hopefully I can kind of continue finessing my way into that gym before they realize the temporary pass they gave me has expired.
Oh.
So we're gonna fingers crossed on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, outside of that, that's the plan. Hopefully something cracks and something budges. One of these reporters can, actually ask McDaniel if, they plan on giving me the opportunity. But, I understand the reporters get debriefed, and if that's part of one of the questions they're not allowed to ask, it probably won't, be asked. It would be nice if they would let me know, just so, I kind of know in the back of my mind that, hey, it's probably not going to happen. So you're more than likely out here just in case, an extra long Hail Mary shot. But, I mean, I got nothing really outside of the fiance and the dog. And, I mean, she's, helping me out, and she comes up here on her off days. So, I mean, that's about it.
Look, it's an awesome story. Obviously, it's the underdog story. You think Rocky, everybody deserves a shot, and you're going for it. You're going for it all the way, and we're all rooting for you. I got to be honest with you. And if the reporters won't ask the questions, or the beat writers won't, we may have to. There's a lot of days in training camp left. We might have to start a Kyle chant in the stands or something.
And Dolphins Twitter is very, 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 very powerful.
Behind,
so
and they're all behind you, buddy. So
you definitely have our word and our blessings that, we're going to work any magic we can to give you the shot, because we love your story. You have the hustle, you have the grind, and that's what our team's about. It's adversity, and we have such a great, great team, and we're hungry and we want to win, and people come from all different areas. So we want you there. So you got us.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Kyle. Let our followers and viewers know where they can find you on social media, so they can give you an extra retweet, shout out. Where can they find you?
Yeah, I think on everything it's Kyle_Ulbrich, and one of them's different. I'd be shocked, but I'm pretty sure that's what they all are. So no variation there.
Perfect, Kyle. It was awesome having you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We will see you on Friday. We'll definitely bring you water and some coolant towels, and hopefully, you get a shot before then. But if not, we'll definitely see you Friday.
Yeah, we're looking forward to just following your journey along. So we'll definitely see you Friday. Thank you for joining us, Kyle.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay. Have a good night.
His story is like the coolest.
Yeah, no, that was awesome.
Oh my gosh!
Like you said, we met him yesterday. Yes, yesterday, right? Yeah,
Sunday.
Just yesterday. That was we met him yesterday, and we got to chat with him for a little bit, and it's just like you just mentioned, he's been on TMZ Sports, he's been on Fox, CBS, and he's been all over the place. A couple of podcast shows within the Dolphins community, and people are just moved so much by his story and what he's trying to accomplish. He pretty much laid it all out there. What he's all in on trying to get the attention of the Miami Dolphins right now specifically, but he just wants a shot. He just wants a shot to get out there and show what he can do.
Exactly. And, we had a little technical difficulties with the weather, but Kyle knows, as he's played in 4 seasons, he's going to have to go through the adversity and deal with that. So,
and we did too.
We did too.
You did a great job of getting us back on. I don't think he ever left, I hope.
No, he stayed on as a trooper.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I think it stayed while we got.
Hopefully he didn't do anything too funny. And it was like Val attack. No, I don't know, something crazy.
We'll have to look back at the tape, as they say.
No, so we had a great time with him. Yep. So talking about training camp, we were there on Sunday. It was yesterday. It was the first day open to the general public. It was packed. It was hot. But and I made a video. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. No, it was great meeting him. And so going there, I made a little video, the 4-in-1 of training camp, what to expect. So definitely check out my social medias, kind of give you like a walkthrough and the basics with that. But it was so great to see everybody. we're excited. And obviously the talk of the town was Tua signing the big contract, right? We knew it was going to come, but then it was like, can you please do it before Sunday so we're not feisty? And he did it. And it's a 4-year, $215 million contract with obviously next year he's still under the original contract. So this contract is additional 4 years on top of that.
Yeah, and it averages out to $53.1 million a year. And to put this into perspective, listen to this. So Dan Marino, the Hall of Fame Dan Marino, played 17 years, all for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
In his 17 years combined, Dan Marino made $51 million. So Tua next year in 2025, when the new contract starts, because he is on the 5th-year option now, he will make more just next season alone than Dan Marino made in his entire NFL career. So it's crazy where the money's at right now with these players. But
it had to come.
It had to happen.
Trevor got his, Jordan got his.
Jared Goff got his, Jordan Love.
The only one who doesn't have his right now is Dak, right? And Dak's kind of like, what is going to happen? And so, Dak's just chilling, but that's Cowboys Nation for you.
Yeah. No, but look, it had to happen, right? I mean, right now we've invested in the premier wide receiver in all the NFL and Tyreek Hill. You got one of the best right behind him in Waddle. We just signed Odell Beckham. So there's so many weapons at the disposal. We bring in Jonnu Smith from the Titans to be the tight end. You got Mike McDaniel, who's an offensive juggernaut. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it's a system. Tua's playing the system. Great, but that doesn't necessarily mean that anybody is going to be able to thrive in that system. And Tua led the league in passing last year, has had, shown that he could do it. Now, he needs to do it when it counts, right?
Yes, win against winning teams.
Exactly.
His record against winning teams last year was a little
and in the playoffs when it counts. But look, he's earned the right to do it. And it wouldn't have been smart, in my opinion, and I know in a lot of people's opinions, to hit the reset button and start over. Not when you have this amount of talent offensively and an offensive guru, genius head coach who's going to put Tua and the entire offensive unit in the best position to win football games.
Correct. So building on yesterday, last year when training camp started open to the public, it was actually Tyreek Hill who came out and did his backflip, right? Got us pumped. Tyreek was not Tyreek yesterday. Whatever, he's whatever. But it was not Tyreek who
Tyreek didn't play. He was.
But he wasn't even suited or anything.
He was not. He's not.
So Tyreek didn't get on the mic because we all love Tyreek. It was Tua. So he gets the mic, and what's he say? I got that bag.
And he says, "Show me the money."
Show me the money, right?
Unlike Tua's not really.
So people took this 2 ways. People are like, he's pumped. He got this. And other people are like, what happened? Now, we later learned, if you may not have known this, his quarterback coach actually dared him to do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it wasn't him
cool.
being arrogant Tua, salty Tua. It was a dare. And fans loved it, right?
Yeah.
So, and the other fans were like, show me the money when you show me the Lombardi, or show me the money when you win a playoff game. So we do know that it was a dare. It wasn't him being arrogant, but it pumped up people. Tua chants broke out and everything. So
he's a fun guy. I don't think he takes himself. I don't think he takes himself too seriously. He's a fun guy. But look, it's all about a relief for him to make that kind of a statement, if you will, opening up on the mic.
Yeah.
He had a protest by not participating in 11-on-11 drills the first couple days, just to kind of say, hey, look, I'm not going to take a chance here and get hurt, or I'm not going to do more than I need to until this advances along. And I don't want to say the Dolphins caved in or anything like that. I think it was all part of the plan to pay him.
Yeah.
But maybe they would have dragged it out a little bit
more.
They
played the game. You have to. You can't just drop your cards and give him what he wants.
There's 3 preseason games. There's no longer 4, or sometimes there used to be 5 preseason games. There's 3 preseason games. You got to get right to it, and you can't waste around and miss time. You got a brand new tight end. You got Odell coming in here. You got some receiver we picked up. So you definitely got to get to in sync with all these guys.
No, and in regards to practice, our defense looked great. Really, really great. We're excited about that. Offense, some questionable players. Skylar got some touches. Mike White got some touches as well. So, it was all around everyone getting their touches. But our defense looked stellar, and we're really excited about that.
Yeah, no, the defense definitely, I can't speak for all the other days, but for what we saw yesterday, the defense got the better end of the offense, and that's good. You need to challenge them. Obviously, Anthony Weaver, new defensive coordinator. is a player's coach, unlike what we had last year with Vic Fangio. So a lot of the players are now coming into their own and feeling comfortable and going out there. Another big thing that happened, speaking of a defensive player, Jordan Poyer actually came out. This is making the rounds. He came out and basically said that the Dolphins were the kind of team in the last couple of years that you knew they were going to, kind of fold, or when they were up against it, they didn't have that drive to finish off games that mattered, specifically against the Bills late in the year, including a playoff game 2 years ago. So, that kind of wakes you up a little bit. And so Poyer saying that, having a new defensive coordinator, it's a new, fresh start to the season, and hopefully the defensive unit's ready to change what they couldn't do last year.
Yeah. Switching gears, obviously the Olympics have started. I'm a huge Olympics geek.
Can I just say one more thing about it? I know you had mentioned your video you put out about training camp.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Well, where can they find that so you can tell them?
Oh, they can find it on all my social medias. Yeah. Okay. I'll probably put it on the website too. But I'm trying to level up my social media game. I'm like, Ash, come on, you gotta stick with the times.
Now you're gonna make me join TikTok, and so that's gonna be a little tough.
It's not about TikTok. It's just it's like programs that just make videos and stuff, right?
Can you show me?
Oh, you would have no idea, man.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
If you couldn't get on that the thing, I mean, no. No. But no, I just took little clips and I put them together, and I kind of gave. And I didn't have a script. Like, I just was spewing out the words. You're really good at it. I know, but it took me 3 tries though. I'm not gonna lie, because I think I kept saying the tense. Or I missed up something about the tense, but tense, it's first come first serve. That's kind of like
those tense that are in the
right
end zone, kind of, you will. Yeah. No, but just wanted to touch on how awesome it was to be back at training camp and see all our Fins family. I know Desi's in the room; he's coming down next week, so it's great being out there with all our Fins family. And look, we were there for the last regular season home game that we were hoping was going to result in home field advantage in the first round. That didn't happen. So then we took our talents and our gloves and our warm gear to Kansas City and braved frigid temperatures. And that was the last time really we were amongst, I know we went to the draft in Bayside, but that, wasn't oriented with the team directly. So it was just so good to see everybody there yesterday. And also want to mention the 2 guys that we drafted first and second, Chopper Robinson and Patrick Paul, who actually were going up against each other in practice. We saw Chopper Robinson go line up in a couple of different stances. He was in a 3-point stance. He was also standing up. So kind of an idea of how they're going to use him. That was good to watch. And they had some good battles, the 2 rookies, which were obviously picked first and second by the Dolphins. So that was fun. Cam Smith, who was drafted 2 years ago and didn't play at all last year, he actually walked off the field with a slight limp. 24, nothing to be concerned of right now, but initially that was a little bit of a scare. We want this guy to finally be able to develop fully, and so that was a little bit of a scare for us. So
so I got to talk Olympics, because we were just awarded 3 gold medals.
Nice. There you go. Thank you.
You just gave us 3, so we got to talk it. All right, I'm a huge Olympics girl in the sense that I love geography. I love countries. I love looking at people from different cultures. I think it's like a Hunger Game thing. It's beautiful. So when the Olympics come every 4 years, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
So the opening ceremony was controversial. We won't get into that. But Celine Dion did amazing. She truly brought the world together. So currently, as of right now, I'm going to refresh the screen to make sure.
Why you refresh the screen? So you mentioned Celine Dion, the Eiffel Tower. I mean, all the scenery
they did fantastic.
Was incredible.
But they had the most terrible weather. It was raining of the opening ceremony, and one of the USA athletes actually fell off the boat.
Oh,
but it was because she was. But you didn't. But it's because she was on someone's shoulder. But whatever, that had nothing to do with the rain. Ouch. She was just acting crazy. All right, so as of right now, Japan actually leads with the amount of gold medals that they have. Japan has 6 gold medals. Behind that with 5, France, China, Australia, and South Korea. Now, USA has 3 gold medals currently, 8 silver, and 9 bronze. So altogether, right now, USA has 20 medals. So we are leading the medal count.
Who's leading gold?
20.
That's what
I just said that.
Just like Tua said.
I just said that.
Okay, who's leading gold? Give me one more time.
Guys, can you help him? Because I just said it. Someone's listening to me. I just said, don't look at it. I just said.
Who's leading gold? I'm sorry, I blanked out there for a second. Who's leading gold?
It's a company that it's a company. It's a country that has one color, one shape.
I don't know. Just
their flag is just one red circle.
Oh, Japan.
Yes.
Okay, good. Got it.
Okay,
Right.
so they're leading with 6 gold. Now,
Okay.
if we click on USA, let's give you a little more what we're working with right now.
And this is going to take place over what, 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a long way to go. But.
Okay, so just a few events that I want to highlight. We got a bronze in the men's 100 backstroke swimming. And then we also artistic gymnastics. Men got a bronze with that. The alt team when they do that crazy stuff.
I'm more of a breaststroke type of guy, but
skateboarding. We actually got bronze and silver.
There's a skateboarding.
There is. We got bronze and silver.
I did not know that.
Men's fencing, we got gold.
Okay.
Women's freestyle, we did not place. Women's swimming is obviously big with Australia, so we haven't really done good with there.
And Michael Phelps is retired, right? Because I think
I know. I think I said something about him yesterday. Our women's gymnastic team's doing fantastic. I've been following them. I actually watched.
Does he saying also there's breakdancing?
No,
we got a breakdancing.
Stop it.
I think there is. I think somebody said that.
No.
Or ballroom dancing. There's some kind of dancing. I know. I read that. So.
Rowing, rugby, sailing, shooting, skateboarding, surfing, swimming, table tennis, volleyball, water polo. No.
We'll look it up. But I think Desi wouldn't make that up. I think there is some kind of a dancing, synchronized dancing. There's something going on with dancing.
Dancing Olympics. I was watching beach volleyball today. I love beach volleyball. Olympic breaking. It's called.
Yeah, it's a breakdancing. You're right, Desi.
Okay, so it's called Olympic breaking, and it's the B for the boys, B for the girls. Discover the schedule first. Okay, so that starts. That's why it doesn't start until August 9th. So that'll be the first with that. So
these Olympics are going to take a while. They're going to take the whole
rest
of the summer.
It's not. It's a while. It's a whole.
It's going to take us right into
something. It's called breaking.
It's going to take us right into football season. So that'll be fun to follow along.
So I promised everybody that I would have a rant about the Marlins. So I just need to get that off my chest.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, it's been tough. I mean, you're going to do your rant, but the Marlins.
I don't even have anything scripted. I'm just going to speak from the mouth right now, dude. We're season ticket holders. I love this team. You know, we go to the games. I go good attitude. I cheer. I do the little fishy da 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 when they get on base. I know the players. I know their story. I tweet at them. I heart them. All that stuff. But dude, you gotta stop. It started with Luis Ariz to the Padres. We haven't been on a date pretty much since then. You and I.
You and me both, Desi.
What happened?
He's saying he's going to block his ears because you're about to scream Marlins talk. But
okay, then I won't talk about it.
No, go ahead, do it.
It's fine. It's just really, really rough, right? It's just rough. So.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, look, they made the playoffs last year, and to go from that to being 30 plus games under 500, trading away Luis Ariz, All-Star, trading away Jazz yesterday. They're most likely going to get rid of Tanner Scott, our top closer, one of the best closers in the game.
All right, we don't talk about it more.
It's tough. It sucks. What do you want to do?
Mentioned rugby, right? So I made this tweet a few days ago, and I said, guys, if you could be part of any Olympic sport, what would it be? And so I thought, all right, I could do volleyball, but I'm tall, but I'm not tall. I'm 5'6", so I can't jump. First of all, I can't jump. But I thought about it again today. Rugby would be my sport. I would be knocking down left and right. So USA rugby team, if you are looking for a mid-30-year-old kind of average-sized woman who loves football, if you need somebody, I'm your girl. But no.
There you go. No, rugby's obviously very intriguing, and there's actually one girl that's been going viral that everybody wants to have her as part of her NFL team because she's just
rugby's cool.
Over.
And they didn't have rugby wasn't big in Jersey. I feel like if it was, I probably would have retired playing soccer and played rugby because it's so much like football. We even have flag footballs for girls and stuff. I grew up in pretty much dinosaur ages.
There you go. I'll ask the room. What would you guys in the room? What would you do if you could play any Olympic sport? And I'm going to side with our guest tonight, Kyle Ulbrich. I'm going to side with him and say that I would play basketball. I love basketball. I love the competition of it. It's not like swimming or any of these other sports that it's basically like a minute long and it's over. Basketball, you go into the group stages and then you get the quarterfinal, semifinal, and then championship. So I love the competition that's for a full game as opposed to a sprint.
Jesse says soccer. Yeah, soccer.
Yep, soccer for Desi.
Soccer's a big one. I would also say my number 3 I can't do gymnastics. I'm barely doing cartwheels from start doing yoga. But my number 3 would be fencing. I feel like I would Jedi people left and right. I mean, I would use my Star Wars skill, and I think I would be good at fencing.
You may. I can see it.
Or wrestling.
Yeah, those are both sports that, I can see you doing. Absolutely.
I'm not too old to do this, right?
No, you still got a shot. You still got a shot, I think.
No, but I think fencing would be my thing. We should practice. Give me a knife.
Yes.
Give me a knife.
We'll practice and we'll record it and play it for everybody.
Oh my gosh. But no, so the Olympics, they play it all day, but obviously it's in French France time. So to watch it live, it's a little tricky. So I enjoy watching it at night and catching up with them. So definitely support USA and hopefully they come home with a lot of gold.
No, there's definitely nothing you can do. I don't want to say more patriotic, but because there is obviously, and that's making the ultimate sacrifice for your country. But besides that,
Snoop Dogg, by the way,
Snoop Dogg,
Snoop, man, he's just the ambassador of USA. He's doing it because he wants nothing to do with the politics. And that's, so he's like, I don't want anything to do with the politics that's going on in America, the country, and he's just bringing laughs.
And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. You're watching the Olympics and you're supporting your country.
Yeah.
And you want to ultimately, at the end of the day, be on that podium while your national anthem plays. And I think that's what, you see it all the time. People crying as they're seeing that. And it really beautiful. Is. And for the goodness of the country and the pride, especially with all the craziness going on now in our country, which we won't get into. It's a good thing to see, and we need more of that. So
no, it was fun.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, last thing. So DCC, first of all, Dolphins Challenge Cancer registration opens up next week. We are part of the team with Big E, and we're excited. Anybody is obviously welcome to join our team. You do not need to live in Florida. You could do it virtually. So I will get into that more next episode. But
people doing it virtually from across England, everywhere. So
California,
anybody can do it, no matter where you're from.
We have a great team. So it opens up next week. But what we're doing in order to raise money for the team, we're going to, you want to introduce it?
Yeah, so we're going to do what you typically see for NFL squares for the Super Bowl. We are going to be doing it for the first 2 games of the season. So on Thursday night, the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs, who beat us in the playoffs, they will be playing against the Baltimore Ravens. They'll be hosting the Ravens from Arrowhead Stadium. And so that game, as well as Friday night, it's going to be the first ever Friday night week 1 matchup between the Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles.
In Brazil.
That'll be in Brazil. So for those 2 games, we are going to be doing squares, and we are going to be doing for the price that we will be getting per square, you will actually get the same box that you pick in both of the.
Okay, use an example. For example, let's say I choose number.
Fine. So
no, because let's say I choose number 13, right? And so you give 20. How much is it?
So we're deciding on the amount, but if you pick this box, for example, for the Thursday night game, you will get the same box for the Friday night game. So you'll get 2 chances to win. A portion of it is going to go to DCC. So not only are you having 2 opportunities to have your numbers hit, you will also be making a donation towards DCC. So it'll be a lot of fun, and we will be doing, once all the boxes are filled, we will be doing the random number drawing on our show leading up to the first week of the NFL, and we'll be able to, and you'll be able to see what numbers you have selected.
What if my numbers?
Well, Desi, if your numbers suck, then if your numbers suck, then we cannot do anything about that, because we will be doing a live drawing to announce where those numbers fall. And if you get that dreaded 5 and 5, you're going to have to hope for a field goal and safety combinations, buddy.
Although anything is possible, we've seen it. So
yes,
do not.
No, but look, it's a lot of fun. It'll build the excitement for those 2 games before the Dolphins play on Sunday against the Jaguars at 1:00 here at the Hard Rock. It'll be fun to do that. And more importantly than that, not only can you'll have 8 opportunities, depending on how many squares you pick, to win some money, but you will be making a donation towards DCC.
Of course. So we will be promoting that information soon on, and so stay tuned for that.
Yep. And also, if you subscribe to our 305 Sports Travel, you know by now that we are going to Indianapolis and Houston. Indianapolis week 8. Is it week 8 or week 10?
It's not week 10.
It's week 8. And Houston is week 15. So we are pretty much all sold out of both those packages, but we did release some exciting information to those that are subscribed with us about our tailgate plans for Indianapolis. And so check your emails if you haven't done so already, as we have some exciting news that we'll be sharing publicly at a later time. But right now, we just gave that information out to those that are subscribed with us.
Yes, the trips are really, really coming together and growing, and we cannot wait for the season. Obviously our home games are huge. There's a lot of events. There's a beach bash. There's events in Seattle, and then obviously our 2 trips. So, obviously we have just football in general, but there's a lot of kumbaya and a lot of fun happening built into that.
Absolutely, and we even got stuff coming up with the home opener. I know you're hosting the beach bash, it's called, so that'll be fun. And mentioning Seattle, I did want to also bring into the fact that I did announce last week that Ashley and I, for those of you who don't know by now, Ashley accepted my offer to become my wife. I proposed to her at the Dolphin game last year against the Titans, and so we have now set a date for our wedding, and that is going to be 9/24/24, so in less than 2 months. As a matter of fact, in 57 days, so she says I do. So we are very excited, and it's actually, I haven't shared this. I posted about it, but I haven't shared this. It really is a full circle moment for us. As mentioned, I proposed to Ashley. Are you going to cry? You all right?
No, I'm not going to laugh.
I proposed to Ashley last year.
You keep calling me Ashley, too. You never do that. I'm like, who is this Ashley woman?
I proposed to 305 Sports.
No, please, no. Ash or something.
I proposed to Ash in December on a Monday Night Football game against the Tennessee Titans. We don't want to discuss what happened at the end of that game, but it didn't go favorable for the Dolphins. But in a truly full circle moment, we are going out to Seattle for week 3. We are going to get married in Napa Valley. I could say that because I pretty much already announced it. And we will be flying back Sunday night and getting back just in time for Monday Night Football at the Hard Rock against, you guessed it, the Tennessee Titans. So it doesn't get more full circle than that. Proposed to her against the Titans on Monday Night Football, coming back as a married couple on Monday Night Football against the Titans. And I'll tell you right now, the Dolphins better win that game.
Yeah, so people also wanted to know where our honeymoon is. So this is actually...
this is not a joke. This is actually what we're doing.
No, this is all true. This is a 10-day trip. So, generically people get married, and then after the marriage they go on a honeymoon, right? But who gets married during football season, right? Like, I never thought I would have done it, because I just look at people like that and go, what are you thinking? But it's what we're doing. So obviously we don't have time to go to Italy or Hawaii or Bora Bora because we're in the middle of football season. So with us being huge sport fans, especially baseball, our honeymoon is going to be spent in, I almost want to be like The Price is Right, wonderful, beautiful Oakland, California, one of the most dangerous cities in the United States. No, but true story. After the honeymoon, literally the next day and the day after, we're going to Oakland and San Fran to see the Oakland A's with their last year's of costume, which Oakland A's is interesting in the sense that they did win the World Series in the year of my birth. I won't tell you guys which one, but one of their championships.
1973?
Stop. No. 89, they won the World Series. My initials are AS, which is A's. But that does not enough reason to give up a honeymoon, but it's just how the apples fell. So it is like our honeymoon per se. But
it's not necessarily our honeymoon.
But we will be going to Europe next summer.
We don't know that yet. We haven't discussed that.
I'm going to Europe next summer.
Well, so there you have it.
This time next summer, I will be in Europe. But
it'll be fun. Obviously, just because of the fact that we're going out there for the Seattle game, and then we are going to get married in Napa Valley. So we decided to extend our trip. Yes, I do see that. Look, Oakland, look, the Bay Area is nice, man. There's just some questionable areas, especially where the Coliseum is around. But hey, it's kind of, we had to get out there because they're going away. The A's last home game is out there, and so we're going to see the very last game there. Also, for you Finn fans in the room, the famous Sea of Hands game took place in that building, which did not go well for the Dolphins. They were the losing end of that infamous game. So we're trying to flush out the demons of that. And
that's not our responsibility on our
no,
wedding date. That's not our responsibility. That's some sage and that's some shula stuff. That's not my wedding.
Who says I'm not going to do that? I may get down on the grass at the Hard Rock and sprinkle some grass from the Hard Rock to Oakland to reverse that bad juju. With you, Chef Jew in the room. So
in other news,
we'll see.
So South Florida, guys, heads up. You also know I'm a certified meteorologist with SoFlo Sports Network. There is a system right now in the tropics. Right now, it is 50% projected to hit. Right now, the whole state of Florida is in the cone. So keep an eye out for that. We will know more in the next few days. But if it does hit South Florida, it would be projected to hit later on this week into the weekend. As we know, we are getting into the peak of hurricane season. Peak of hurricane season is late August, early September. So yes, knock on wood, we've been pretty good since. We haven't had a major one, and not saying we will, but we also need to be vigilant and know that it is the season, and every system we do need to keep an eye on. So right now there is an active one that's projected to hit Puerto Rico, and we're going to be tracking it to see where it is. But right now we are in the cone of it.
Yeah, no. So hopefully, again, we're kind of used to this by now. Hopefully we're safe and aren't affected. And yeah, no. So that's what do you say? Want to wrap up the show? Actually, you got to wrap it up on some good news, not a potential storm coming. The Marlins, we can't talk about that. Hey, it's football season, baby. Dolphins are back. They'll be playing before we know it, and we are looking forward towards that. We're going to, as mentioned, watch the Dolphins on the road a couple of times this year, 3 times for actually, and hopefully in the playoffs as well if we get to the ultimate destination, which of course is New Orleans, Louisiana. So that's where we want to end up.
I'm kind of getting an itch to go to MetLife again this year. Maybe it's just an itch to go to Jersey, but I'm kind of like, oh, should we go again? So I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Maybe I just need to get the itch of going to Jersey this summer and get it out. But definitely for sure, you guys know we will be in Seattle. We will be in Houston, and we'll be in Indianapolis right now. But we shall see a later game of the year. We never know what might happen. Obviously the Jets are projected to be good. Bills are projected to be good. So games later in the season are exciting, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, and definitely with obviously football being around the corner, we are going to be committed to doing this show every week, and we can get your opinions on what you saw the Dolphins do good and what they did bad, and just go through the season together and hope to see our boys, like I said, end up in New Orleans and hopefully raising that Vince Lombardi.
That would be nice. Yep. And hopefully with Kyle on the team.
Yes, Kyle, our guest tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Kyle.
And hopefully you will be on the Dolphins team. And yeah, it's a great story. Follow him on social media. This amazing journey that he's going through. And it's just, again, thank you, Kyle, for joining us tonight.
All right, guys. Hopefully see you at camp on Friday. It is Members Day on Friday. So those who are season ticket holders, see you Friday.
All right, guys. Well, have a great rest of your week. Today is Monday. You got a whole week ahead of you.
Why tell people that?
And but hey, hope you have a great one. And we're already counting towards Friday for that member day and the weekend ahead. But enjoy your week. Stay safe, and we'll see you back here soon.